5 realities of staying put. Those stagnant wages, those rising costs. In the last 5 years, the cost of living in Canada has jumped 20 to 35%. Healthcare delays worsen. Wait times for basic procedures are now 20 plus weeks in major provinces and rising every year. I keep hearing so many stories of Canadians who go across the border and pay for healthcare in the US just because they get a quicker wait time. I had a contact in Winnipeg who had to get knee surgery. The wait list was 3 years. So they drove over the border to the US and got it done within a couple weeks. Actually, the same thing happened to me. In 2023, I actually needed a small routine medical procedure that they told me the wait would be 7 months. I then called a clinic in Washington State, just over the border in Vancouver, BC, and they were able to get me in that same week. I paid $200 and drove back over the border, and that was it. So I can very much attest to how this is absolutely the case. Probably even longer than the 20 weeks average, actually. Longer winters and short summers. That is a reality of staying put. There really isn't anywhere in Canada that you can go that has a reasonable winter. I mean, in Vancouver, I thought I made it. I thought I got out of the cold Winnipeg winters, but I moved to Vancouver and it rained for 6 months of the year. That was not what I signed up for. Sure, it wasn't minus 40 with a wind chill, but it was absolutely not warm. So nearly half of the year is spent indoors, at least. It impacts your mood, your motivation, your mental health. I have been so happy to my core since moving to Florida. My dad actually even told me that on the phone the other day. He said, "You've sounded incredibly happy. It just sounds like you're, exuberating sunshine." So it is true, and people around you will notice. Number 4, limited career growth. If you do have a job right now as an employee, smaller markets mean fewer opportunities, especially if you're not in, tech or healthcare. So who knows what the future is going to look like for the Canadian economy. And number 5, the reality of staying put, your burnout feels normal. You have it so frequently that it just feels like a part of you. In a recent study, Canadians reported levels of stress and fatigue 68% higher since 2020. That is extreme. I think that the entire pandemic made us really revisit things. Even the whole introduction of more remote work and really opened up the possibility for people that, hey, maybe I don't need to stay here. Maybe there are other opportunities, other places in the world that I can explore. And the nice thing about the US is it is right underneath Canada. If you have family in Canada, you can get back so easily. Hop on a plane. It's a relatively quick flight. You're often in the same time zone. So it is a great way to get out of the country without moving too far. A very similar lifestyle as well, but a lot more sunshine.